For the players.
I'm Ryan Benson.
I'm Max Cooper.
And this is For the Players, the PopCulturists PlayStation Podcast with over 50 years of playing PlayStation and like 15 years in that games media combined. I'd like to thank you for joining us in this PlayStation conversation.
This PlayStation conversation happens every Tuesday morning at 8 a.m. on podcast services, including Apple Podcasts and Spotify, and 9 a.m. on those YouTubes. If you'd like to take part in future conversations, if you'd like to take part in future conversations that make sense, come and check out our socials: Facebook, Discord, Instagram, X. All of those links can be found in the description below.
I can't promise you that'll make sense. If you want to join the conversation as it happens, head over to twitch.tv/thepopculturist, where you can watch us record this show live, where you can jump in the chat and become part of the show. If you want to support the show, you can tell your friends, tell your family about this PlayStation Pod. If you are listening to us on podcast services, be sure to give us a 5-star rating and a written review. Watch us on YouTube, be sure to like, subscribe, leave a comment below. I endeavor to answer every single comment. And if you want to support us financially, you can at patreon.com/thepopculturists. Now, Max, you sound like shit.
Yeah. My kid has been off school all week with this fucking gnarly cough and runny nose.
Mm-hmm.
They both woke up with it. Well, actually, they both went to bed with it Sunday night. I got a message from my wife while I was at work. Your daughter's thrown up. I'm like, okay, I guess she's not going to school tomorrow.
You're like, what the fuck do you want me to do about it? I'm at work. I appreciate you telling me, but like, have you cleaned it?
So, got home. Ollie had a runny nose for a day. Got over it on Tuesday. It's back today. Hadley has been coughing and throwing up all week.
Is it the Ronas? Because the Ronas is back in action.
But look, probably, but I don't have any kits, and I'm not testing for that shit anymore because like, what difference does it make? And then I woke up Friday morning with a blocked nose, so that was fun. And then I'm like, okay, I'm going to start munging on cold and flus, and now I'm worse.
Your body was like, oh, sweet. We don't have to work as hard.
Well, it's been a pretty hectic week because I started my classes this week, so I've been going to work later than I normally would, which means I'm getting home later than I normally would, which means I'm getting less sleep than I normally would, which is fuck all anyway. So I think, I'm just run down. And,
I imagine it. Plus, it's the weather. It's been a cold week.
Yeah.
Which doesn't help either.
So, I'm kind of just, chilling. Being back in class has been enlightening.
Yes. What's it like returning to school at the ripe old age of 35?
So, it's fine. I'm finding it fine. So for those playing at home, I am doing a cybersecurity course. But the first year is basic IT. Now, I have done basic IT a few times in my past, and I'm finding this to be at the moment pretty much a cakewalk.
Mm-hmm.
Now, as every class does, first day was like a meet and greet, and then they've timetabled everything into sessions. So we do session 1, day 1, 2, day 2, so on and so forth. The meet and greet took so long because there's 40 fucking people in this class that session 1 didn't get done. So we did session 1 on day 2. And then he's like, oh, it'll be fine because we can do session 2 and 3 on day 3. They're both very short activities. Oh, no, they weren't. I mean, they were short if you knew what you were doing, but they weren't short for everyone else. So during the meet and greet, everyone's kind of like, the questions were, what's your name? How do you want to be perceived? Like, what do you want us to call you and refer to you as?
Consider it.
And the third one was, what is your basis in IT? Do you have any history in the field? And there were people going from, I have a master's degree in IT to like fucking.
Sorry, Puck's having a blast in the chat.
I fucking love that ad. So we're some people are like, oh, I've got masters in IT, but when I've moved to Australia, that my qualifications hasn't carried over, so I'm doing this as a refresher course, and then when it came to do the practical activity, which was
turn on computer,
No, so we've been set up with Azure Labs to run virtual machines, which is cool because I don't have to run them locally on my computer, which is handy. And the task was create a virtual machine inside of the virtual machine running Windows Server, and then change a bunch of details. So like change the computer name, set up a static IP, block some ports. No worries, cool. So opened up the virtual machine, downloaded
Now,
a
just
copy
out
of.
of curiosity, Max, just to establish a bit of precedent for everybody. Now, everything that you've just listed, could that be something that I could do?
Yes.
Okay.
If you've ever installed your own operating system on a computer, like it's
Yes, I have.
pretty straightforward. So anyway, the task was to download the ISO file for Windows Server off the Windows website, and then install it using the virtual machine. 90% of the class did not download the ISO file from within the virtual machine, so we had to wait for their shitty internet to catch up and download the whole ISO file, only for them to discover the file's not there. I've downloaded it on my actual computer. I'm like, okay. Someone tried to actually run it on their actual computer, and they're like, it's saying that it's going to uninstall my Windows. Is that what I'm supposed to be doing?
Oh
I'm
my
like, oh God, no! Please don't do that. Please don't do that. So this task was supposed
Oh
to
my
take us
God.
30 minutes. This this task was supposed to take us 30 minutes. I had it done in 5, and then I spent the remainder of the 3-hour class getting screenshots from other people and trying to talk them through it while the teacher was slowly going through it step by step when people were getting stuck. Because there's people who are running Macs that don't have access to Azure Labs because it's a Windows thing, so you have to
Yeah.
download compatibility software. So we had to link them that stuff. One dude's running Ubuntu for some reason. He's like, nothing's working. I'm like, no shit. Have fun. And it was just a bit of a clusterfuck.
I have a
And then
feeling this sounds a
at
whole
the
lot like when I did my Cert 4 in youth mental health after working in the field for 4 years.
and then at the end, the teacher's like, just to let everyone know, I'm actually going to open assessments for the course next week, and if you want to work ahead, if you are able, feel free. And I'm like, yeah, boy.
You know he was talking to you when probably you alone.
So
Was there is anyone else that like wasn't
yeah, like a
as
lot of people
incapable?
could follow the instructions. The people that got stuck kind of were either fell behind and he set the pace, and then if you fell behind, you kind of fell behind and you were asked to catch up later.
Mhm.
So instead of going and having your 10-minute tea break, it was stay back, ask questions if you need help type thing.
Pardon me.
But I think the other thing is, and like the teacher mentioned this, he's like, these lesson plans were laid out for a normal class, and it's really hard to teach 40
That's a
people
double.
via Zoom as well.
Yeah.
So like when we and you can tell that there's some people in the class that don't have any IT knowledge that are kind of just doing this to like upskill themselves or whatever. So when we're sent to like separate breakout rooms in Zoom, no one's downloaded the course material. They're all relying on the teacher who's sharing his screen to have the lesson plans up, and they're all looking off that. So my group's like, oh, we don't have the work to work on. So I set up virtual whiteboards and pasted the PDF file into the whiteboard so everyone can view it. And took notes, and then I'm like, at the end, we're going to be asked to discuss what we've talked about. I don't want to do the talking because I've taken all these notes. Please make sure someone screenshots this because when this room closes, the whiteboard's going to get deleted. And they're like, yeah, no, we've got it. And then we get back to the main room. Teacher's like, oh, can someone come and discuss the findings? Everyone's like, oh, no, we lost none of us took photos. So I then had to, not that I really cared. Public speaking's not that bad.
We're doing it right now.
I'm doing it right now. So I had to do it because I was the only one who had the notes because I took them on my computer and then just copy and pasted my screen to the whiteboard every time I updated it so people knew what was going on. So
yeah, don't give them a link to a live doc; they'll fucking collapse.
Yeah, well, no.
Jesus Christ! Now, look, I say this in full, it is full judgment, but like it's in full understanding that everyone's at different paces when it comes to these things.
Yeah.
But if you jump into an IT course, you'd assume, because once again, this isn't basic IT. The course is cybersecurity. So it's, is it a Cert 3?
So it's a Cert 3 in IT, followed up by a Cert 4 in
that helps.
cybersecurity.
Okay,
So
now I have more context. Thank you.
This first year is just basic IT.
Okay.
Like, it's a lot of network administration stuff, and like, it's not basic IT, but like anyone who's really built their own computer kind of knows their way around this. Like, I was doing this stuff in high school.
And it was harder there back then.
Yeah. So, I mean, well, it was newer back then.
No, I mean, like, even, I remember back in the day when building a PC wasn't plug and play.
Yeah, I suppose.
I remember helping Dad, like, solder shit. And these days, I bought my PC and I go...
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like...
So yeah, it's one of those things. I'm just like, you know, and I knew going in, because I tried to get RPLs for this course because I have done a Cert 3 in IT before, but it turns out I did it like 15 years ago.
Oh wow, times a bit.
And they're like times have changed, buddy. And I'm like, clearly not that much.
The future is now, old man. And the answer is everyone still has struggles to turn the computer on. Like,
well, that was the other thing.
That
was the other thing. So when you when you try and install Windows on a computer, it clearly states that you have to press any key for it to boot from the disk.
Yeah.
And if you don't do that, it just goes to like an error screen. And no one pushed the button. So everyone was getting this error screen. And because it was running on a virtual machine inside a virtual machine, they're like, fuck, do I turn this off and restart it? To like...
Oh, how do you soft reset a virtual machine?
I'm just stuck. Because they had obviously full screened the original virtual machine, and then they full screened the inner virtual machine, so you couldn't do anything. Oh they were just stuck.
I say that like that does seem like a mistake that I would make.
And then I had to explain to everyone, like, okay, what you need to do is there's a big blue bar across the top of your screen. Click that and minimize it, and then it minimizes that virtual machine, keeps the other virtual machine running. And I'm like, now just minimize that, and then scroll across, and you'll have a little box inside that little box, and then you can close that one. And then I'm just like, it's frustrating, because I did it too. I wasn't paying attention. I forgot to push the button, but I knew how to close the virtual machine and reopen it without going haywire. So it was just... The only thing I struggled with was the task was for running Windows Server 2019. And I just clicked on 2025. I'm like, fuck it, I'm just going to do the latest version. So all the instructions were for 2019, and they just weren't correct. Oh,
so you did an ADHD, Max.
So I had to fiddle around. Well, it turns out that the teacher's like, well, just do 2025 anyway, because it's the current rendition. So he did both simultaneously. I ended up going back and doing both, just in case he wanted proof that we could do it. So yeah, in the time that the class did one virtual machine, I set up three with three different operating systems, and was kind of just chilling, eating Nando's with my virtual avatar. I refused to put my webcam on.
To your credit, off pod, you and I were chatting. You're like, look, as long as I don't play games.
Yeah.
Now this is coming from a guy who did his entire Cert 4 in youth mental health playing Outriders. Mostly. I applaud your self-control.
And it's really hard, because obviously I sit at this desk to do it, and right there's my PlayStation. Yep. I'm like, I could be playing fucking Wuchang Clan right now, but I'm not.
Yeah, and you would be fine, and you wouldn't be behind. But I think for me, in the same reason that I was like, shit, I probably shouldn't do this, even though I did it, and I only sort of regret it, is that if things did get difficult later, which for mine it didn't, I thought I was like, fuck, I'm going to be boned. Because I was talking about the other day, like, I went through high school not studying at all because I've just taken advantage of being autistic as hell. And then it wasn't until I got to, like, year 11 when I was like, hey, you need to properly study. I'm like, yeah, I've not taught myself how to do that. I'm fucked.
Yeah. I feel ya.
Yeah, and so now I was boned, and then I continued to get boned into university. So that was awesome.
So, like, you know, I make sure that my phone's put away. I don't have my phone out.
Yeah.
Like, I'll have my Facebook open to talk to people, because, like, I'll still chat away while I'm listening to the teacher do his thing. But for the most part, it's just like, Yeah, I'm just chilling. I have looked ahead as to like what's coming, and I am going to get to do some like coding and stuff soon, which is going to be awesome. I think that's going to keep me entertained. But like this was my worry going in, was the fact that I'd get bored redoing the stuff that is commonplace knowledge to me. So until I get to the point where this is new and this is fun, it is kind of just going through the motion.
Yeah, as I said, you do it in ADHD, and that's fine. That's fine.
Yeah. What about you? How's your week been?
Look, my week's been pretty cool. Not too much to talk about on my end. Work was work. Got to work in Pakenham this week, which was cool.
Oh, did you end up finding someone to stay with?
Yeah, I've got a family member that I can bum a room off of, which is cool. Outside of that, yeah, work is work. Today, however, so I had my son this weekend, which was lovely. Today's Sunday.
I'm going to cut you off. There is one more thing that I was bitching about during
do.
class, and that was everyone's got fucking asshole lighting.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. The second you start hanging out with streamers and people that make content, you realize, oh, shit.
Everyone's sitting in a dark room with the fucking blue glow from their screens. It's like...
Or they're sitting with their back against the fucking sun. Where I'm like, how are you seeing your screen, let alone we can't see you? You look like a fucking criminal in a current affair.
But I must admit, most people use those virtual avatars anyway in Zoom.
Yeah, true.
A bunch of fucking talking VTube animals.
Which is worse. Just rather kill myself. So I had my son this weekend, which was lovely. I did work a wrestling show, worked Renegades of Wrestling on Saturday. That was great. Today, time of recording is Sunday, the 3rd of August. And it is night 1 of a SummerSlam in the WWE. Some shit went down, Max. Shit went down.
What went down? Tell me all about it.
Not tell you all about it, because, you know, it's
spoiler it all so I don't have to watch it.
Look, throughout the day, the matches are pretty fine. Are you aware of the country artist, the musician Jelly Roll?
No.
Okay, well, he had a match, and he actually did a really good job. I enjoyed him.
Who or what is a Jelly Roll?
Jelly Roll is a country music artist.
Okay, what's Jelly Roll's big hit?
Big hit? I don't fucking know. I'm aware of one song that he has that was part of the WWE 2K24 soundtrack, and I'm like, oh, cool, that guy. And then I've not looked into anything else. But yeah, SummerSlam often does like a celebrity cameo sort of thing. Oh, he did the ending song for Sonic 3, says Mute in the chat.
I haven't seen Sonic 3.
Jesus fuck, Max. Excuse me, one sec. Yes. So that was cool. He's come in as that celebrity cameo match thing, and it was fine. I was very sports entertained, which is
so kind of like that I Am Speed fella that.
Straight up. Yeah. But this guy did a full match with Randy Orton against Logan Paul and Drew McIntyre, with the novelty of the match being that Logan Paul's like, man, who the fuck do you think you are to call yourself a wrestler? And everyone's collectively like, cunt, you are not a wrestler. But saying that, though, he did debut like 3 years ago, and he has been consistently really good. So I would comfortably call Logan Paul a wrestler, I think.
Sorry, was it like a tag team thing?
Tag match, yeah.
Logan Paul... Okay, so why... Hang on. The bigger question here is...
Why did Randy Orton tag with Jelly Roll? Don't ask
No. It's the other way around. Why is... What's his name?
Logan Paul and Drew McIntyre.
Yeah, why is Drew Mac hanging out with Logan Paul?
Hey, Max, you know when you remember those times where you ask questions? Stop doing that.
I feel like that's the bigger question.
Because there are some times in wrestling where you just got to stop asking questions.
but like, have they ever wrestled together? Is it like
they hated each other at some point? Just because they're both heels, and Drew's kind of shitty at Randy, and Logan is shitty with Jelly Roll for some reason.
Isn't Randy also a heel?
No, he's face now. He's been face for a while. He's been having a lot of fun.
I would imagine that the heels also have fun.
Oh, they absolutely do.
I don't feel like having fun is a definition of a good face versus heel.
That is true. That's absolutely true. But I mean, in terms of Randy as a character, he's face Randy's a stack of fun. But the big thing, main event for the World Heavyweight Championship, CM Punk versus the current champion, Gunther. Big Austrian motherfucker, can chop you in half. You've seen Walter before, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Sorry, Gunther. He was Walter previously. They beat the piss out of each other. Because the whole story of the match is, CM Punk is very aware as long as he doesn't get chopped or put into a sleeper hold or power bombed, he might win. So he spends a big hunk of time dodging all three of them until once and then he's fucked. He's just straight fucked for 10 minutes and just kick his living shit in. But eventually they spill to the outside. They get involved with the tables. Gunther's being a dick, standing on the table being all yeah, look at me, I'm awesome. Punk pulls him out from underneath him. He lands, he kind of doesn't land on anything, but he's supposed to have landed on the screens that are on the table. He ducks under the ring, blades like crazy, just starts pissing blood. And the idea is he gets in the ring, blood's in his eyes. He looks like he's kind of selling it that he's broken his nose, even though he's very clearly bleeding from his forehead. They tussle. CM Punk delivers the go to sleep, which is you have him in a fireman's carry, you pick him up and over, knee him in the face, they pass out. That's the idea. Does it once, he kind of fumbles on his feet like a cartoon character. CM Punk picks him up, boom, goes the second, drops him down, and Sean in the chat says, sounds great, almost like it's scripted. It's exactly...
Me and Sean are on the same wavelength.
Speak for beat. It's almost like we know what's going to happen. It's fantastic. Boom, gets him that second time. Gunther drops 1, 2, 3. CM Punk is, for the first time since 2013, a WWE champion. It's amazing. It's fantastic. He gets 3 minutes. He's enjoying it. Next thing, he raises the belt. Seth Rollins' music comes out. Goes. Seth Rollins, as far as we know up until this point, he had fucked up his knee 2-3 weeks ago. And we're he's out for 8 months. This is fucked. He is currently the holder of the Money in the Bank briefcase. For those
I was going to say, he's going to walk in with because of the way you sold of he's finally after this many times, and then for 3 minutes, and then someone else has walked in with a briefcase, smashed him in the face, and now it's his championship belt.
Well, that's pretty much it. So Seth Rollins comes out, Paul Heyman's holding the briefcase, right? Which, for those playing at home, the Money in the Bank briefcase allows you to cash in at any point at any time for a contract for the title of your choosing. So Paul Heyman's carrying it because Rollins has got, jacked up leg. It's all braced to shit, crutching his way out. And now CM Punk and Seth Rollins fucking hate each other. Hate each other. If they want to have people that want to straight murder one another in the world of wrestling, they are the two people. Seth comes out essentially along the lines of when I get better, you're fucked, mate. I'm going to get in there. I'm going to kick the living shit out of you. And he hobbles around, and then stops, does the stand tall, drops the crutches. Because up until this point...
Is he Willy Wonka?
Yes. Up until this point, everyone, as far as we all knew, Seth Rollins legitimately fucked his knee. That is what we all knew. And as Reverend Puck, full on Wonka. And he stands up, drops the canes, turns around, unclips all the straps on the knee brace, grabs the briefcase, and just fangs it down the ramp. Right into the middle. Literally grabs a fucking ref on the way. Just grabs her by the arm. She's gets dragged into it. He ducks in the ring, stomps the thing fuck out of... wait, no, my apologies. Hits Sam Punk and they tussle, hits him in the head 5 times a roundabout with the Money in the Bank briefcase. Cunt's dead. Bell rings because they're actually finally hands in the briefcase. Stomps his face in. 1, 2, 3. Seth is now your world's champion, which is amazing because essentially Seth and Punk since he returned 2 years ago. Anytime any of them get an opportunity to do something cool, the other person is there to fuck them up. The only reason Seth got the briefcase is because Punk had a match against Cena that night. So they just fuck each other over consistently. It was dope.
My next question is, where does this belt sit on the hierarchy of belts in the WWE? Is this the shitty second cousin belt, or is it actually a cool belt to have?
It is the cool belt to have. So there's the John Cena Cody Rhodes title, the one that's on that side over on SmackDown. This is the one on Raw. So this is in a lot of ways. Cody's belt is considered the bigger one because it's got the big WWE logo on it. It's the face of the company belt. Okay. Where this is the big belt on of Raw. So ideally they're of equal value.
Okay,
but
so
one is a little higher.
I'm confused with the Intercontinental Championship.
So the each division, so the men's division also high. We are now 24 minutes until PlayStation Podcast. Haven't talked about it once. So within the men's division and now the women's division, which is fantastic, you have your world titles, your big belts, and you have your mid card. So the mid card belts are for those that are stars, future potential. Enough. But they're not. But like they need to demonstrate. It's the idea is make them look fantastic to get them then into the second. It's like the lower bracket of the card. So
it's the AFL versus VFL.
Correct, but in the same building. So yeah, so
the same building.
Well, absolutely, because on top of that, you've got the main card, then you've got NXT. NXT is kind of like VFL to the AFL of WWE, but it's Either way, that's the belt when you're in the middle and you're moving your way up the ranks.
It's Division 2.
Yeah, Division 2. Absolutely, it's Division 2. That's probably a better way to talk about on the money. So that's your Div 2. So right now, that's the beauty of it. CM Punk, they've been fucking each other over consistently. One of them's going to die on Raw. It's going to be incredible. I'm really excited by it. And with tomorrow, as Monday, which is the day before this goes live, we will have the main event of John Cena versus Cody Rhodes for the WWE Universal Championship, undisputed Universal.
Is this Cena's retirement match?
No, he doesn't retire until December. So this match, on SmackDown yesterday, John Cena has ostensibly turned face again. He's become a good guy. But Cody, the biggest babyface in the company, is progressively showing signs of being a bad guy. So the belief is tomorrow is that they will turn. Cena will go from the bad guy back to being a full-blown good guy, or vice versa, and then both will switch. What's called a double turn. However, my belief is that Cena will still win, but Cody will act a little heely, and then they will continue to tussle in various ways until December, where Cody will go full-blown bad guy, Cena's full-blown good guy, and he'll go out on his back, and Cody will. However, Cody, with that in mind though, there is no good guy to come up behind Cody to start chasing him, and that's the only downside, because then he'll have to turn again. But that's just being too in the weeds. But SummerSlam was good, is what I'm getting at. SummerSlam was great. I'm keen to watch Night 2 tomorrow. But yeah, other than that, my week's been my week. Life's been good, as it has been. Yeah. Watch WWE Unreal, which is cool. But that's enough about all that side of things. Let's get into what we've been playing. Max, what have you been playing this week?
So I have been playing more of Wuchang. So I mentioned last week that I was stuck on what I perceived to be the end of Chapter 1 boss, or the end of the era I was on. I then proceeded to have 2 attempts after we recorded last week before I went to work, and fucking did it. Turns out I was just being a moron. I was just using the wrong spell at the time, so I didn't need to respec or anything. I just literally used a different spell. That just did way more damage than the one that I had. I played a little bit more of that. It's hard. I think playing as a pure mage is not the fucking way to go, but that is how I am spec, and I am too stubborn to change at this point. Despite the fact that there's no detriment to changing whatsoever. It's just that I would have to admit defeat, and I just can't do that. I'm not ready to throw in the towel. I have also been playing more Elden Ring Neightreign.
Mm-hmm.
They have released a new Everdark Sovereign in the boss Augur.
Firstly, Max, what the fuck did you just say? Because I don't know anything you just said.
Augur.
No, before that.
An Everdark Sovereign. So they are the super bosses. They are the super bosses.
Thank you. Thank you.
Essentially, they've just remixed the bosses again, and they're like, hey, you know how it used to have a phase 1 and a phase 2? Well, now it has a phase 2 and a phase 3. It's like a big one. And they've just made it way harder.
That does sound like Elden Ring, yeah.
So the gimmick with this boss is it is the same as, I can't think of the boss it is used in Demon Souls, but it is like Yhorm the Giant in Dark Souls 3, and it is like There's a boss in Elden Ring. It's the big fucking snake wanker inside Manor. I can't think. But you have
Look,
to use
I
a
didn't get
specific
past the I didn't
weapon.
get past the prick on the horse at the beginning. So
You have to use a specific weapon that has a specific skill that will damage the boss greatly. So when you beat the phase 2 of Augur, it drops you a legendary piece of gear. And it's just your whichever character you've picked to do that run on. It's their base weapon at a tier 3, and it
how many
has the
tiers
same.
are there?
There is 3 tiers, so
Oh,
tier
so like
3.
a
Oh, sorry,
big
tier 4 for them.
honking.
It is a nice shiny gold legendary piece of gear, and it has the Stormcaller's skill. So what that does is you hold it down to charge it, and then you fucking release a big blast from your sword or your bow, whatever it is that you're using. That is the only way you can damage the boss.
Mhm.
None of your other weapons matter. This is the only way you can do it. And it's fucked. Because either people have yet to figure that out, which is really annoying. People have yet to... Every time I haven't beaten it yet, every time I try to about 50%, and then my teammates just fucking die and are useless. So as the fight progresses, the boss will get these essentially purple orbs that will spin around its neck and shoot lasers at you. The idea is you are supposed to target those with your weapon, and once all of those break, the boss falls from the sky, and you get free damage for like 10 seconds. No one wants to fucking shoot these things. There's a mechanic where the boss spreads a mist that puts you to sleep and poisons you. So you're supposed to run to your allies and all circle jerk and attack each other so you don't fall asleep. No one does that. Everyone runs away and then everyone dies because you fall asleep and are poisoned. You can't wake up. So it's just fucking frustrating.
And there's no local chat, is there?
No, there's no chat. That'd be great if there was. I could yell at people. It's fun. 2-player expeditions are now in the game. It was delayed due to the tsunamis.
How inconsiderate of the weather.
Wherever that happened. Oh well, it's hilarious because
off Russia. Yeah.
It's hilarious because the tsunami itself wasn't hilarious. Tsunamis are horrible. But they delayed it because of the tsunami, and this boss has a fucking tsunami attack.
Oh, it's like remember it was that Motorstorm Pacific Rift. They were like it was about to drop. Then there was like giant ass fucking earthquakes and tsunamis, and they're like, "Let's delay it 2 weeks." Yeah.
So the boss fight is cool. It's just I'm just getting frustrated by, people's stupidity. So I'm hoping I can wrangle some people. Just need like some semi-competent people.
Nice.
Voice chat would make all the difference. And then the last game I've been playing. So I'll leave it at that.
Yeah, the other one. You are playing something now. Not when we say this, not as like a, like something we're going to be able to talk about at a later date. Like you've just got pretty cool alpha access to something. We can't say.
Yeah,
like in general, like it's like not once again not a show thing. Not going to be like ooh. It's just you're playing something. You're playing something. Work.
Yeah, I'm playing something.
Yeah. Look, something you mentioned before when it comes to your stubbornness around Wuchang and that you weren't you're not willing to cave. Well, this week, Max, I caved to something.
Ooh, okay, lay it on me. What'd you cave to?
So my son has been.
Did you finally buy a Pro?
No, because I'd be a lot more excited.
Oh my god, you let your son play Roblox on your PlayStation?
Yeah.
Oh, you fucking terrible person.
You know what, it gets worse.
Ah, oh, please don't tell me you've been playing it too.
I've been playing it too.
I'm leaving. I'm quitting the show.
Yeah.
A letter of resignation.
I know. It's killing me, man. It's killing me. Right? Like, because like second to Fortnite, which I've only... What was it, sorry?
Roblox playing, motherfucker.
I know.
See, Fortnite may have fantastic foreskins, but Roblox has nasty foreskins. Okay,
they do have nasty foreskins. That is very, very true. But my son's been kicking it, and he's been really enjoying it, and it's been fun. Like I'm watching him, like he and his mates get on a video call together through Messenger Kids. So like they're using Messenger Kids as a Discord chat. And then they all go and
Yeah.
play these fucking games together. And that is really cool. And that's really fun. So like I'm watching him have the social experiences that we get to, or we've enjoyed when we were, granted not his age because that didn't exist when we were his age, but seeing all the things that we got to experience in our later years of playing games, but through him, is fantastic. And he's played this game called Rivals, which is essentially a first-person shooter. It's 1v1 or versions of variants of that. Small arenas. Standard weapon set. The novelty of it is it's skill based and the skins you can buy, like because all the weapons are this. Everyone has access to the weapons. You get them through keys, which can be purchased, but you can also earn them through the game. So you can be sped run, but if you don't know how to use those fucking weapons, it doesn't really matter. My kid has gotten so fucking good at this Rivals game. It's insane. Like, granted, I've got old man reflexes already when it comes to playing first-person shooters. But watching him decimate, and like, he's not exceptional, but once again, it's a lot of kids playing it. But when he gets in the zone and gets in the real thick motions, I'm going, Jesus Christ! Like, there's good tactic here. Like, he's gonna, and he's playing on the iPad. But if you ask me, he prefers to play on the PlayStation because the controller's easier. I'm like, good boy. So
again, just sync a fucking controller to his iPad.
Oh,
man.
no, we have done that, but he doesn't have a spare one at mum's to do that. So, yeah. So like that's been fine. And like that one's okay. I enjoyed that one. But the other day he was showing me this game called 99 Nights in the Forest. So it is essentially a little survival game where there's a little campfire you've got to keep lit, and if you supply enough wood to it so it hits its 100% whatever, the map then gets bigger, which allows you to go then explore further, find cool shit, and bring it back. So there are little huts which have little chests in them, and that's where you can find all the cool things. We can upgrade like axes and guns and flashlights and all this shit. But the catch is there is a day-night cycle, and over nighttime there are nearby cultists, very similar to the forest, will come and attack you. The big bad in the game, though, is this giant anthropomorphic deer that comes and slashes the living fuck out of you if you do not have a flashlight or you're near your campfire.
That's not the way I thought this was going. I thought you were gonna be like, it's Bill Cosby or something.
Look, in the world of Roblox, that is absolutely fucking possible.
Well, that's where I instantly thought. I'm like, it's gonna be like predatory as fuck. It's
not like a Hello Neighbor, which when you think about is like really, really kind of, very Epstein. So yeah, I'm watching him play this. I'm like, and I say out loud, I'm like, this is like a game I've played. This is like, I reckon this would be fun. I should get an account and play with you. Expecting the response of, "Ooh, Dad, why I don't want to play with fucking you. I'll play with my friends." And my son, James's eyes just became like dinner plates. He's like, "You do that? You'd play Roblox with me?" And I was like, "Shit. Oh, I want to say no, but I'll hurt his feelings." "Yeah, bud, I'll make an account, sure." Fuck.
You're dead to me.
Saying that though, we've played a good couple rounds of the 99 Nights of the Forest. It's kind of fun. It's because it's built for children. It's a survival game in the intensity of a survival game, but way simplified. So it's really easy for me. I can take and he and his mates having a rough time, and I love it.
You're the cool gamer dad.
I am. It's fucking sick. Like
you're like the fucking elder of the tribe, giving them sage advice, and it's just bullshit.
Oh no, I'm giving them good advice because James has told his mates that they know that I do this, right? So they're aware of my cred, for lack of a better term. It's a term that the kids use, my credentials, to what it's abbreviated from. But yeah, and it's been awesome to sort of watch him get really excited and want to play with There was he and I would just play together occasionally off the side, but when one of his mates has done the old 1v1 me in Rivals, bro. And I'm like, 1v1 me on fucking Dust, mate. Was it Dust? Yeah. Was that Call of Duty 4? Rust. Rust. Not Dust. Fuck. Those creds I just talked about, fuck them immediately.
Dust is a Counter-Strike map.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that really tight one in I think it was Rust, yeah. So that's been fun. I've been thoroughly enjoying that. In the chat, our good friend Sean jumps in and says, tung sahur, question mark. All right. Now
I keep seeing that on
so that is like some brain rot shit that we've seen on PSN. And I've not, it's like it looks like a burrito with arms and legs and a really weird face. And I was like, this is dumb. They hit it, like, I know it's pretty, like, once again, through key mailer, it's pretty generic, but we got, like, sent, they're like, hey, do you want to play Tung Sahur Horror Night? Here's a PS5 and a PS4 code. I was like, no. I'm like, this absolutely looks like shit. So I was like, no, I declined it. However, like, see, in the chat, Sean does go, do not let him play that on Roblox. The beauty I have of now being in the game is I know what the games are. So it does give me added advantage as a parent. So if he's like, I'm playing this, you want to play with me? And I'm going to go, hey, bud, I don't want you to play this one. And here's why. Because like he understands why he can't play Fortnite. He's like, why can't I play Fortnite? Like all my mates do. I'm like, bud, we have 1,000 other fucking better games you have access to. I was going to say the thing about Roblox, but the difference is like Roblox, there are some good games in there. Like it's what Dreams wishes it could have been. So I can see the potential in there, but just like Dreams, there's a whole lot of copyright laws being broken in.
The other thing is though, for every good game, there's like fucking 20 billion bad
absolutely.
Whereas at least Fortnite is fairly heavily moderated.
Yeah, that's true.
And like if all your son's playing is fucking 1v1 FPSs on Roblox, just let him play those 1v1 fucking build maps on Fortnite.
Yeah,
I just
let him play Call of Duty instead. I don't fuck. Because one of my friends said like, why? They're like, well, why does your dad let you play Call of Duty, but not Fortnite? I said, well, one, because it doesn't like a fucking fever dream. You know, like you play Call of Duty. You play Call. No, actually, absolutely, I lied. It does.
Call of Duty's getting pretty fucking bad.
Yeah, Beavis and Butthead is in it this month. I'm like, what the fuck? But I mean, like the idea, like because it's still grounded, right? Like it's fucking Call of Duty, but it's grounded in that it doesn't look like a cartoon. So like the violence, like so if he plays it and plays the campaigns, which he does. Is he old enough to comprehend it? No, but he's old enough to understand that, like, oh, violence isn't awesome. Like, it's fun to play, but like when you apply it into real world, in the same way that wrestling does the same, it's like, yeah, this is all pretend. It's fun, but don't get in fucking fights.
But then, like, how is that okay in a game with Lego and shooting?
My issue with Fortnite is predominantly the microtransactions, and additionally, I also have that same problem with Roblox as well, because they're both built on FOMO. You need this skin in order to engage, and I hate that shit.
Sean puts in the chat, blink twice if you've been playing Battlefield 6. I haven't, but I will be playing it next week.
Yeah, I'm gonna play that open beta for fucking sure.
I've got a little bit of early access to the open beta next week, so I'll be playing that. I'm super keen to play Battlefield 6. What I've seen of it is, and then they came out with a comment, I think it was yesterday or the day, like, we're not going to have dumb fucking skins in our game because our game's...
Yeah, like that immediately, I'm like, yes. But yeah, my issue with Roblox and Fortnite, in most games these days, sadly, is microtransactions and like that FOMO that they push. So and the other thing I dislike about it makes sense and it's fun, but not for a kid. Like with battle royales, if you're playing with a squad of mates and you happen to die at 94, you then may have to wait and just sit there and watch your friends play. Saying that though, Fortnite has since added the revive stations, which can assist in that. But it's not a fun experience as a crew for younger children. They don't understand that like that skill gap. It is more of a why am I missing out? Why am I being left out? Why aren't my friends reviving me?
Well, you can go play the TDM modes where you just respawn. Like there are ways around that. And,
I'm very aware because,
and that is the nature of the game mode, I guess. Like, you know, it's the same thing in Call of Duty. If you play their battle royale, you get that one chance of survival when you get sent to the.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. And like that's why, once again, those mechanics are awesome, and they are great for those that are mature enough to comprehend.
So what you're telling me is next year when the Call of Duty comes out, you are playing DMZ together.
Fuck yes. And that's honestly, he will do better than me.
Well, that's not hard. I mean, the other reason why you're coming is because all the bots, for some reason, are super attracted to you.
They do love me. They love me, them bots. So this week, you're
like a bot magnet. It was great.
I've played mostly that. I've played a little bit more of Death Stranding 2. About 30, so we're still in that early 30 to 35 hours in.
Did you get through the motherhood stuff?
I did. Yes, we did. Yeah. It was pretty gut-wrenching. The character of Mother, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Where she has chiral hands, so she has like reverse
two right hands,
which I love because that's like chirality is within chemistry is the same chemical structure, but it's like if you flip it, it completely changes its function. So I quite like that she has chiral hands because that rather than having two separate hands, they are identical. I think it's very clever.
Yeah.
I quite like it. Just for the play on the chirality, it's a term. It's the same reason the hands is the imagery across the whole game. So that was really cool. Done that. Continue to do all the 5-star that I can. Just building roads. I love building fucking roads. It feels so good. That and the monorail. Discussed it last week. The highlight is just building more fucking roads. Makes me so happy. But other than that, I think that's kind of all I've been playing. Have I played anything on the PC this week? No, I have not. All right, let's get into the section we call Inform the Players. We tell you about what happens this week in PlayStation. Only a casual 47 minutes in, Max.
It's all right, Ryan. We have some PlayStation 6 leaks. So coming out from hardware leaker Moore's Law is Dead, who previously accurately outed the specs of the PlayStation 5 Pro.
I listened to a lot of his stuff. I think it's Broken Silicon is the name of one of the things he's done. I believe so. He also does a lot of work with Colin Moriarty, who I've talked a lot about. That is someone that I enjoy. I listen to a lot.
So they claim to have seen an internal AMD presentation from back in 2023, which includes a ton of potential information about the PlayStation 6. As he clarifies multiple times throughout the video, the specs were accurate as of 2020 and may have been altered and changed since. However, he does note that after speaking to someone familiar with the PlayStation hardware development, Sony rarely strays too much from their pitch. There are a few pieces of information that are particularly pertinent here. Firstly, Sony is working hard to ensure the system will be affordable and is aiming for a price much lower than PlayStation 5 Pro. Thank fuck.
Excellent.
Of course, global economics and tariffs could potentially upend its efforts here, but it's clear the goal is to make a mass market product and not a $1,000 supercomputer. Secondly, it's said that the system could enter manufacturing as soon as mid-2027, which would likely point to late 2027 or release date. That is assuming that everything goes to plan. In addition to the PlayStation 6, Sony is also working on a handheld time now. The most interesting detail about this is it appears to be on the same development time 6. It's possible it could launch simultaneously alongside the console. Those are all the headline details. But here are the nitty-gritty proposed specs. The new console, the PlayStation 6, is codenamed Orion and is titled following as its alleged 2023 presentation. 8 Zen 6 or later RDNA 5.
Just coming go mostly because I'm a layman and you're currently doing an IT course. Can you please break down these bits if they're needed? Okay. You haven't done that part of your course yet?
RDNA 5 will be the RAM stuff, which is nice. Essentially,
RDNA is
sorry, the GDDR7 is the
Yeah.
RAM.
Yeah, I didn't know
with
it's
the
like
other
that
Um,
through
yeah,
and fucking what's it called? AMD's like
yeah. So
thing.
to put it in its basis terms, it's apparently going to be around 3 times more powerful than current PS5 Pro, but more cost effective and more power efficient.
Yeah, and probably AI assisted is very
I
similar to
would imagine
PS5
so.
Pro. Yeah.
And then, according to the same AMD presentation, the handheld, which Canis is targeting the next lot of steps, which is about half of that thing is.
That's right. There's a fucking handheld,
Um,
son.
the big one being that both machines are going to be backwards compatible with PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5 titles. The handheld device will have haptic feedback, dual microphones, a touchscreen, and a USB-C port for video out. Yeah, so there's a lot to chew from the technology perspective, but if accurate, it gives an idea of the direction Sony is heading for gen, affordable, comparatively low power consumption, and efficient. The reality is we're unlikely to see graphics like PS1 to PS2 ever again. Cross-gen between PS5 and PS6 is likely to be long. That's where the organization's strategy with its rumored handheld may fit in, as you'll likely be able to share the majority of your library between the two units. If this is all accurate, the fact Sony is aiming for a mass market price point should be the most important takeaway. There had been concerns after the 700, that's US PS5 Pro, that the company could charge an extortionate sums for its next-gen console, but it looks like it's still eager to appeal to the masses. The biggest challenge for Sony will be converting players from the PlayStation 5 to PlayStation 6, because as alluded above, we can expect both systems to share the same library at some time. And if the rumors are accurate about Sony's multi-format plans, then there may be less incentive than ever to buy a new PlayStation.
Well, that's a fucking lie because I would buy that shit immediately. But I'm gonna talk about it.
It's one of those things, like if I'm going to be able to play all those same games and hit the same amount of frames and everything on my standard PS5, I probably won't rush out to get the new one. It's the same reason why I don't do the mid-grade, like the Pro upgrades. I didn't do PS4 Pro. I'm not going to do PS5 Pro. It's just one of those things. Like mine's still running fine. It hasn't died. It's not overheating. It's a bit dusty because I haven't cleaned it in a while. But generally speaking, like, and you know, we saw the same thing here in this generation. Titles are still coming to PlayStation 4. Like, granted, a lot of people have now moved over to PS5. It's not as bad as what it was in the early days. But if we're going to have the same library, like, why do I need to fork out an exuberant amount of money when my current thing can still do what that's doing? Like, unless there's a massive issue, like, if they're going to say, like, oh, the PS5 version's 30 frames, but the PS6 version's 120, I'll be like, okay, maybe the upgrade is worth it for me.
Yeah.
But if they're both running, like, if it's just you can run performance and fidelity mode at the same time on PS6, but you have to pick one or the other on PS5, that's not going to be enough for me to be like, to get the PS6. Because I'll just run that bitch in performance mode and not have a problem.
Yeah, so I guess for me, where I start looking for this is the reason that I would upgrade to a PS6 is similar to the reason that I would upgrade from a PS5 to a PS5 Pro, and it is something that I'd consider. One, I'm impatient, and knowing that this is not going to come out for another 2 years, 3 years, okay. Like, granted, that is the luxury of me wanting to have that impulse. But similar to yourself, what will have me excited is not visual intensity or visual quality, because as it stands right now, I find most PS5 games like Death Stranding. Sorry, was it sorry?
I think we've hit a plateau of what our graphics are going to look like for a period of time.
As they mentioned, like, it was such a massive leap from PS1 to PS2 in the same way it was to NES, to Super NES, to 64. Like, those visual upgrades were staggering. When now we have hit that realism, so the only thing that they can really benefit is sharper image, more.
It's if the human race gets just significantly more sexy.
Yeah, which apparently is a desire for most people because everyone's too ugly when everyone looks too real. Who would have thought? The real people are fucking hideous. Um, it would need. I lost my train of thought.
Sorry.
That's all right. Yes. So what I would be looking for in this case is performance. Because with that visual fidelity, as you mentioned, hitting a plateau, outside of just being able to visually cram more shit into your image, sure, that's cool. That is beneficial. In the same way that I'm utterly adoring the visual fidelity of Death Stranding 2. But the beauty of that game is it also runs really fucking well too. However, there are so many other games that I have played that have had, performance concerns, may look fine, but it only runs at a maximum of 30. And if you put it on performance, it's still not guaranteed sometimes. That is where it's going to fuck me. That is where I will want to change. It's the same reason I want to change to the PS5 Pro. Now, granted, because of what we are and who we are and what we do, the desire to upgrade to a PS6 is going to be greater. When it comes to those that is an average consumer, I completely agree. The desire to upgrade is challenging. PS4 to PS5, as we're seeing, is slow, but it's not rapid. That makes sense. I feel like there's actually been reports recently, I think there was in a call, where they're now finally at a point where the percentage of players on PS5 is greater than that of those who are playing on PS4. It's interesting that's happened 5 years after the newest console has released. And I do think that will then split into PS6, PS5, and PS4, and those PS4 numbers will continue to dwindle in the same way that there are still people playing on PS3 right now. Not many. I'd hate to know how mad they are at their fucking console, but there are people that do. So it's an interesting thing across the board, how they choose to integrate that, how they find a way to entice people to move up. But there are always these people that are like, I'll wait for the, why have you not bought a PS5 yet? I'll wait for the PS6. I'm like, no, you're full of shit. You never intended to upgrade. You're just a cunt. Like, you are just someone that's a little bit of a bitch about it. Like, yeah, I'm going to be cool and so I'm just going to wait for the next one. You just say, hey, I'm not interested. Like you did. You just went, I'm not interested. I don't want a PS5 Pro. Because, your answer could be, I'll wait to the PS6. And the PS6 rolls around and you go, I'll wait to the PS6 Pro.
I mean, the other issue is like, would I have this line in the sand drawn if like money was not as tight as it is?
Yes.
Because like
all those factors come into play, absolutely.
But, it's one of those things like, I still find it as a not necessary.
Yeah. Oh, no, like I said, granted, game consoles at large, games as a whole industry is not important.
Yeah.
Like it is non-essential. It is.
If I was in the position where I had if I had the money in my back pocket ready to go, I'd probably go out and buy a Pro just so I didn't have to share my console with my daughter.
Yeah, that also worked in my favor too. Because I would move my PS5 to James's room, and then he could play on that, and then I could play in the lounge, and we'd be fine. And I wouldn't have to watch him play fucking Five Nights at Freddy's Secret of the Mimic, where I'm like, I really could be playing Death Stranding 2 right now. But what is more intriguing and what is more enticing is this handheld.
Handheld? No, handheld can fuck off too.
No. I don't despise handhelds. The problem that I've had with handhelds in the past is the significant downgrade that has to happen to have them be of similar gameplay, right? It's like they're so hampered by their portable. However, where we are at now, especially with the likes of the Steam Deck, ROG Ally, even the Switch 2, the impact that would need to be done to bring, once if the handheld can play PS4, PS5s, then we're fine. Like that differential between them is no longer there. That gap is going. it's not going to be 1-to-1. As I said, from the data that you said, it's about 1.5 times stronger than the PS5, is what you said, compared to the 3 that it would be the PS6. Like, you're not going to get 1-to-1, but that is certainly better.
We talked about it last week, and that's why they're trialing this, what was it, low power mode.
Yeah. Absolutely, and that's
like you can actively make your games run worse just to run them, just to be more power friendly.
Yeah, but because of where we are now, like, I love the Vita, I enjoyed my PSP, but they were not comparable experiences.
But it's one of those things, like, it's what kind of games and experiences are you looking for your handheld device? Like, I'm not going to be playing fucking Call of Duty or Battlefield or anything like that on a handheld. But you know what they're great for? Turn-based games. They're great for playing role-playing games and all of those kinds of things where it's low intensity.
That is where the Portal works, but the Portal is a mirror device. So, like, the idea that you could, like, because you could have a lot closer I keep saying the term 1-to-1, but you could have, like, a lot of those input latency issues, etc., could be lost with a self-powered device like this. Because there are people that will play their Steam Deck and play a bunch of shit on their Steam Deck.
To be fair, my concern isn't an input delay for playing a first-person shooter. It's the fact that the screen's so fucking small I can't see anything.
Yeah, that's
I am blind.
Yeah. Sorry, I thought you were meaning on, like, you couldn't play it from the reaction times, etc.
It's the same reason why I don't play games on televisions anymore. I just find that I find that to be
I just got to sit close to the
jarring.
TV. I can play on TV, but I can't. You know people that have the, like, 3 meters between them and the fucking TV? I'm like, you insane?
Psychopaths is what we like to call them.
Mental. Like, granted, like, I'm rocking a.
To be fair, I'm an arm's length away from my screen.
Yeah, I'm less. I'm at a limp wrist arm length. But my screen is the size down from yours.
The flaccid lid.
Yeah.
Flaccid wrist.
Mine's a wanky king. You know, like, kiss my hand. Yeah, you have the same screen, but yours is bigger than mine. So.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, I've got because you're rocking a 27-inch.
Yeah, 28, and you're a 32.
Running 3 32s.
Jesus. So yeah, that's where it sits for me, and I would, and they never did it, which bummed me the fuck out. Just as an idea, it also showed where they sat with the Vita, but there was an attempt to integrate the Vita and the PS4 so heavily. Oh, sorry, and the PS3. And the PS3, I should say. So they were looking at doing bundles where you'd get both in, like, the box, and that'd be dope. And if they can do that here, sick.
It depends on what that
that's where it's going to get fucking expensive.
It depends on what that price point is. Like,
because the console might be affordable. What's that handheld price?
Well, that's the thing. Are they going to give you a discount for buying both together, or is it just going to be you pay the same price but you get them?
Sorry, you cut out for a second there.
I was just going to say, are you getting a discount from buying them both together, or are they just going to be like X plus Y equals XY, bam, done?
Well, you'd hope so, but Sony is Sony, and they will probably charge you that. And once again, with PS5 being the only generation to ever go up in price, that is also possible.
Yeah, well, I mean, the global economy is kind of fucked at the moment. It'd be weird if it went down.
Yeah, by 2027, we hope shit's better. But,
I mean, Hang on. I'm trying to do the math. I'm trying to work out if all these fucking American tariffs will be gone by. No.
It's 4 years.
I think he's out in 2028.
We'll be deep in fucking World War III by then. The last thing we'll want to care about is the PS6. They'll probably want the PS6 handheld to control drones. Rab the Hun asks in the chat, Don't you think the likes of GTA 6 have a key influence on the likes of a PS6? Feels like it could make or break a console. I do believe that a whole lot of if they come out and say, hey, because of PSSR, etc., whatever, the best place to play your GTA 6 is your PS5 Pro when it launches next year, that will move PS5 Pros, no doubt. But then again, the average person will also be like, I'll just play it on my PS5. I think the idea or the novelty...
Still people playing that shit on PS3.
Exactly. I think the idea of a console selling game is becoming less and less. Mostly because
I think the only way it's going to move units is if it's bundled with a PS5 Pro, and that's it. If it doesn't come bundled with standard PlayStation 5s, people can be like, bundle.
yeah,
And they'll get a Pro just because that's the bundle for it, not necessarily because Pro. It's just that it comes with GTA. That's the game that they were waiting to upgrade for. And they're like, well, it comes with this one, so this is the one that I'm
yeah, that's true. If there's a lot of people that are currently sitting on their PS4s going, I'm going to wait to GTA 6 for my PS5, absolutely. Like the numbers will skyrocket. And once again, very few people, I think we'll see Xbox moves in that window as well, but the strategy and the way they're going, I don't see there being a bunch of Xboxes being purchased to play GTA 6. So yeah, as I was saying, the idea of a console selling game is less likely. They're mostly with generations more and more now blurring. Even if we think about the likes of the launch of the PS5, the big tentpole games that they were wanting to push were Horizon Forbidden West, God of War Ragnarok, and so on. They had both. So once again, that hard line in the sand that we are used to experiencing, where we are right now, as we just mentioned, 5 years into the generation of the PS5, only now are we starting to get people going, actually probably over the last year, probably from 2024 to now, they're going, hey, it's just coming to one. That is happening less and less. So I do think that will play a big role in why people may not jump onto that PS6. But so if it's coming out in 2027 by 2032, Jesus Christ, we will start to get PS6 only games, I reckon. But it's one of the big questions though, Max, is we may have this PS6 in X amount of years from now, but why would you want to buy a PS6 when there's no such thing as a console exclusive anymore? Following on from the confirmation of an Xbox Series/Series S version of Helldivers 2 and the debate surrounding the Sony job listing suggesting the company has multi-platform plans, as we discussed last week, a reliable insider has claimed more first-party PS5 games are indeed on their way to Xbox. Nate the Hate, who has developed a reliable track record over the years, said overnight on social media, Twitter specifically, quote, more Sony games will come to Xbox. Yes, end quote. Pretty on the nose. He doesn't say what PS5 titles will be ported across, as he doesn't, quote, have any specifics to share at present, end quote. Then that... I could say so many things and just be like, do you have any evidence? No. The insider uses LEGO Horizon Adventures as an example, though. Quote, I don't know anything about LEGO Horizon going to Xbox, but even if it did, would anyone care? End quote. That's also a valid question. Helldivers 2 on Xbox Series X and S, which will launch for the Microsoft console on the same day that Gears of War Reloaded comes to PS5, was a surprise reveal last month. But since then, as mentioned last week, a Sony job listing has advertised for the role. Since then, a Sony job listing that we discussed last week has advertised the role for, quote, shaping and executing the global commercial strategy for PS Studio software titles across all digital platforms beyond PlayStation hardware, including Steam, Epic Game Store, Xbox, Nintendo, and mobile, end quote. This caused some to wonder whether Sony would join Microsoft in going almost multi-platform, but the suggestions were later cooled by another industry insider, Shinobi602, who said people are, quote, really getting carried away, end quote, with the advert. With no confirmation from Sony, fans seem to think live service titles like Fair Games make sense on Xbox, as well as smaller projects like the rumored 2.5D God of War game. The job listing that sparked the original debate was seeking a new hire to optimize title proficiency across PS5, PS4, as well as the stores we mentioned. Another responsibility would be to oversee mid-range commercial strategy for PS Studios titles across all non-PlayStation platforms, driving long-term revenue growth and audience reach. But according to Nate the Hate, at least internal plans of PlayStation are going ahead with multi-platform expansion onto Xbox, after originally porting first-party classics to PC and then putting the Horizon series on Nintendo Switch. Now, Max, we discussed this last week about this new role is very much likely we need someone to deal with this because I don't want to.
Yeah, now that we're doing it, we need someone to handle it so it's not bogging someone else's time down.
Exactly. Now, one thing that I didn't pick up last week, but it was picked up by, I said, Colin Moriarty, Sacred Symbols. When you go into that job description, there is mention of who reports to you, and they are all roles around third-party development, third-party publishing. Those roles already exist, and they report to someone. All this is doing is changing the path at which that person, these areas speak to, right? So for you, everyone being like, oh man, this, that, the other, fucking Spider-Man's coming over, blah, blah, blah. We have sneakily named the title of this episode, Exclusives are Dead. Are exclusives dead?
Yeah, look, I really couldn't care. Like, if I woke up tomorrow and there's a fucking Tuesday morning blog post on PlayStation Network saying fucking God of War's going to Xbox, I'm like, cool. Fucking good on him. You're probably not selling many copies over here on your ecosystem anymore. Why not fucking sell it elsewhere? Let other people enjoy it. Cares. It is not going to diminish or belittle your IP by letting more people play it. Go have fun. We've had, like, when did it come out? Especially the first one. It came out in 2018. Go on and play it. It's been 7 years. Come on, move on. Let other people enjoy it. And then you may sway those motherfuckers like, oh my god, those games are so much. I don't want to wait 7 years. I don't want to wait an entire console generation. I'm going to buy a PS6 when it comes out. And I'm going to play those fucking sweet games straight away. Apart from Nintendo, who are always going to fucking play in their own... Just do it. Who cares? Make all the money by selling it to everyone. It's the same bullshit when they're like, oh, you can't play Helldivers over in fucking Angola because you can't make a PS... Who cares? Just let them play. Like, you know.
It's interesting. Like, in many aspects, I agree with you about the idea of, like, it'd be cool for everyone to play it. How many more units, how many more copies of God of War, example, you can sell over here?
If you want to be petty, cap 30 frames on Xbox and force them to play console, like, I don't know. But, like, it's been, like, at some point, you've realized that you can't sell anymore. That's why you put them on PC. Why not put them over there as well? Like, why take what is that half-measured step?
I can tell you, because PC is not a direct competitor, and they never have been. The only direct competitor that PlayStation have ever had to really deal with is Xbox. So
but I haven't had to deal with it as a direct competitor.
No, so why do it now? Right, why pander to your like, once again, I'm gonna sound super fanboy as hell for a moment, but it's more business related than it is like my personal. I agree personally. I agree with you, Max. Why not fucking put it everywhere? Does that mean every game should come out across everything day one? No, but it sets a precedent.
I'm not saying day one. I'm saying, like, after 3 years when you put it on PC, fucking throw them a bone.
But once again, now.
Make more money so you don't have to fucking lay off.
It's not simply about fucking money. If it's about money, and once again, this quote comes from somewhere else. Yeah. Then why the fuck is Nintendo not doing it? If what games industry wants, if they want fucking money and it is money only, then Nintendo, I should be able to play Mario Kart on my fucking Xbox too. But it's not built that way. Right now, PlayStation have the luxury of going, you want to play Xbox games? Come over to PlayStation. You will play them here. And on top of that, they get a 30% cut of every time you buy a fucking game on there. Right? 70% of that money goes to Xbox. So Xbox are absolutely at an advantage for putting it over here. So why give Xbox money? Why give Microsoft money when PlayStation could just have all of the money? Why help your competitor be better at their job? Because in a world, if console exclusives no longer matter and there is essentially what will become one place to play, like once again, a PC, similar setup, once again, all the different parts or whatever, how you build it's up to you. But in a console space, if they have the ability to go like, there can be only one Highlander shit, why can't they be the only one? Why can't PlayStation continue to be their default console? Why help your competitor? But
you can be that by making the better and cheaper hardware.
But if the other competitor, it's one of those things. If the other competitor is not supporting their console, and this is the problem of what will become a monopoly in the console space. I'm not saying it's the right decision because I thoroughly liked the window when Microsoft and PlayStation were fighting. Microsoft and Xbox. Try it again, sorry. When Microsoft and Sony were fighting one another within these brands, it made them both better.
Yes. But it hasn't in a long time. No,
because one of them has suffered. So I'm not saying, like I said, I morally, I agree with you. Although I see there being a lot of power in keeping a lot of the big brands of PlayStation, those big IPs on PlayStation, because they have the luxury of not having to do it. And when you don't have to, you don't. From business, you don't. So, can they make some money? Sure. But why not make all the money?
Well, if their theory was to make all the money, they would put it over there, because even if you're only making 30% over there,
all the money.
Well, it is because it's making more. Well, that's what I'm saying. Like,
sorry, I'll let you finish.
At some point, their own ecosystem has bought all the copies they're going to buy.
Mm-hmm.
No one's going to buy it anymore. So we stop selling it and we make no money, or we make 30%. That is making more money. That is going for all of the money, because they are reaching out to all of the people to get all of the purchases.
Now,
whether it be 30% or 100%, that is still all of their money share that they would be getting.
No, I see where you're coming from, but like I clearly don't align. But where like what they could do instead, under any other economic situation, the pitch here would be, hey, don't buy an Xbox, buy a PS5. It's now $399 American. You know, they're like, it's cheaper and you can buy it all here. So don't buy a console that's disappointing. Buy this. Now, granted, Game Pass, massive advantage. But at the same time, the money that PlayStation would have to invest into these games to make them playable on that other console, because they're not going to go to Game Pass. And if we're looking at the numbers, Final Fantasy 16 sold like 3 million copies on PS5. You can check me on the correct numbers.
Oh, I don't care about the numbers. I don't think that's a good example, because although it was an exclusive title, it was a party IP.
Don't matter. It's still an exclusive. And the people that want to play fucking Final Fantasy 16, they're like, oh, wait for it to come to Xbox. About 100,000, like the hundreds of thousands of people, like fuck all comparatively. The problem with Xbox is not the fact that they're a competing console. It's what you've mentioned is the problem. Is that they have lost and they have fumbled. Microsoft have, we talk about this all the time. They have conditioned their player base to not buy games anymore. So if it's more advantageous for Microsoft to put their stuff over, when, as we were talking about last week or the week before, when over 3 million copies of Forza have been sold, that benefits Microsoft way more than it does Sony. They make a stack of money too, which is nice. But as it stands, PlayStation have the luxury of a little bit longer where they can protect their IP. They can protect these things as being PlayStation. Do I believe that at some point in the future this exclusives will die and there'll be all this unified front? Absolutely. But that will only happen when Xbox is so dead.
The other situation is like, and I know they kind of do this with PC because most people have computers, but to entice people into your ecosystem, you give them a sample. If they don't have a sample to try, they're never going to come over.
That is true. That is very true.
Like, sometimes you got to give them a little puff before they buy your product. Like,
first hits on us, you know what I'm saying?
yeah, that's it. That's like, you can't be like, blind faith, come over here. All these other people, maybe all those other people are fucking crazy. Like,
We
they
are.
don't
Look,
know that.
We have done 400 episodes of this shit, Max. Turns out people that play PlayStation are pretty fucking crazy.
And also, like I said before, Nintendo play by their own rules, and they also do business vastly differently to everyone else.
Very true. Very, very true.
Because they're like their C-suite people will be like, we'll take a fucking pay cut so no one loses their jobs. Because
that's
like
Japanese culture, though, which is interesting because Sony...
decent human beings.
Yeah, but yeah, absolutely. Like it's Japanese culture, but Sony has long become a Western company.
Yeah, it has become bastardized.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But once again...
Which is a shame. And would I like to be able to play Mario on my console first? Sure. Did I buy a Switch just so I could play it? Fucking oath I did.
Exactly. Same, but that same logic applies. The only reason you have to do that is because there are no. Once again, with the understanding that and Nintendo know this too. They aren't working in the same rankings as Xbox and PlayStation, and they know this, and they've been doing that for years. So they've built their own niche where there is no other fucking competitor, and they're like, if you want a reasonably, you want a good handheld that's cost effective, it's got brands you love. Done. Now, at the same time, if you could buy Mario Kart on your PlayStation, your PC, or your fucking Xbox, would Switch sales be staggeringly less? Absolutely.
Well, I don't know. I don't know if they would be, to be honest.
I believe they would be.
Knowing the fact that it's a hybrid handheld and home console, I think that
I disagree.
That market way more than.
I disagree because all of the games that I would want to play are going everywhere else. So the only thing that I would need to buy a Switch for is their IP. But I don't care enough about Mario, Donkey Kong, Zelda, whichever, to fucking buy one. Now, I bought a Switch 1 back in the day because we were back then we weren't just PlayStation, we covered everything, so I felt the need to buy it. Right now, I have no desire to buy a Switch. Mario Kart World Tour looks awesome, but I don't care enough about it to buy the console. I know I'm also fighting my own argument. However, those that are more inclined, once again, I'm the minority in that sense. For those that are more inclined, you're like, I don't need a Switch, until the day you needed a Switch and you went and bought it.
Yeah.
That scenario, but with PlayStation, they're like, oh, I really want to fucking play, Death Stranding 2 ain't it? Is it Spider-Man 3? Maybe. But you know what I mean? Like, there are those games that make you go, fuck yeah, I need to do that, eh? And that will happen. Because, like, once again, and then if you go buy those games on Nintendo Switch, they get all the money. If we're talking about money, right? If I could buy the next Pokemon on my PlayStation or my PC, I would. I would immediately. Because I'd be down to play that. I just don't want to buy a fucking Switch. I don't care about them that much. Am I constantly tempted because I want to play Arceus or I want to see what the next Switch 2 fucking Pokemon would look like? Absolutely. And I will be tempted and I will be pushed to my limit if the next Pokemon looks sick.
It does look sick.
I'm sure it does.
So Nintendo had a direct last week, and like 3 games caught my fancy. Spoilers, they're all fucking Square Enix games. All coming to PlayStation 5, and you're like, I actually want them on Switch.
But one thing, that's because you have the luxury, because of the luxury to choose to do so.
Yes, of course. Now, it's one of those things.
Yeah. As I said, like I understand it, I get it, and I hope I'm coming through as like somewhat rational. It's such a tough thing. Because it's
that's
so fundamentally different to how we have known, seen, and experienced the console space. Like, granted, we've talked about this before when we talked about episode 400.
Well, here before you go on this, I've got another question for you. So, when cross-platform multiplayer was a thing, and Sony dragged their heels through the fucking mud, they didn't want to do it. They eventually let it go and did it. Do you think this is do you think this is inevitable of their IPs going everywhere because everyone else is doing it and their fan base fucking do it
No.
like they did with cross-platform?
If PlayStation only did it because they were the last. As long as places as long as places like the Switch are continuing to be like, this is not going anywhere else, PlayStation then have the same avenue to do so. If they go, well, why don't Xbox is doing it? Why aren't you doing it? Like, Nintendo's not doing it.
Why? I don't think a lot of Nintendo stuff's cross-platform play because a lot of
But what I mean by that, I'm talking about the exclusives, right? In terms of the cross-platform, I don't remember my stance. I think my stance was immediate, but it doesn't benefit me. I don't fucking care because I don't play enough multiplayers. However, in theory, why the fuck did they never do it earlier? But I think cross-platform play is very different to that game that you want to play on your console of choice. It doesn't matter. Like, it's different. I see where you're going. What your argument is more around, will PlayStation eventually cave because everyone else is doing it? And the example you've used is a good example, but it's probably not the best example. But so to answer your example of, fuck, I sound autistic. To go with your argument of the crossplay as a comparison, no, I don't believe they are equal. However, do I believe PlayStation will eventually cave? Yes.
What in your mind is that turning point then?
The turning point, when I say cave, that cave isn't to Microsoft, because the Xbox will die before PlayStation are willing to do so. My belief is that cave will come to day and date PlayStation and PC. Because by then, Xbox will no longer exist. It will be Microsoft Gaming, and those consoles will be non-existent.
Okay, well, I'll ask another hypothetical then. Well, actually, it's more of a thing that could actually happen.
All this could happen, absolutely.
Xbox is going to have an Xbox-branded handheld PC come out this year.
Mm-hmm.
You are, in theory, going to be able to play PlayStation titles on an Xbox device.
Mm-hmm.
Granted, it's a loophole roundabout bullshit way. Do you think this will change their outlook on games releasing on PC, knowing that it is going to be able to be played on an Xbox branded device on PC?
No, because as of right now, you boot up MLB The Show, you get the PlayStation Studios logo. As of right now, you boot up Forza on your PS5, you get the Xbox Studios
okay, so
logo.
then why can't you put God of War over on Xbox and still boot up that PlayStation Studios logo? Going to be less. What difference does that make?
The difference is the games that we are choosing. Am I saying that no game should go over? Absolutely not. Once again, very similar to the example that what was mentioned in what we just read. Fair games, absolutely. Is The Last of Us ever going to go over to Xbox? No. Is God of War? No. They don't need to. The only reason... No.
They don't need to because they've released it 30 fucking times on PlayStation and people keep...
Look, apart from that, the only reason we are seeing the likes of Gears come across the PlayStation is because they have to. And I said, and Microsoft will hold on to Halo until their last dying breath.
But do they have to?
When they do, that is the death.
Apparently, Games Pass is making fistfuls of money. Do they have to?
They are not.
if Games Pass is as profitable as that recent article says it is,
They are
do they have
profitable.
to?
Hang on. Did you see the amendment to that? They only are profitable when you don't take into the account the cost of first party production. I believe that was then corrected again in a second way. But
Yeah.
But even that, like, that as a sentence is fucked. Because if Game Pass was making this much fucking money, they wouldn't have to do any of these things because they'd be making enough money to prove.
Yeah, there you go. The update was Chris String has just posted on social media clarifying his comments.
Thank
He
you.
stressed that Game Pass is profitable even when factoring in lost sales for first-party teams. So if it's profitable...
Is there any more clarification on that? Because I could say that too. Because right now, we're in a world where Donald Trump could go up and say... Well, I know it's a very weird example, but the idea of just saying shit isn't enough anymore. Because he just goes, what's that data? I don't like it. That data's fake.
He's confirmed that sources have reached out to set the story straight and confirmed that Game Pass is still profitable even after factoring in lost sales for first-party teams.
How?
Now, obviously, they're not going to name their sources because they don't have to.
No, and that's fine. But the further on question is how. Because you can say that, but if you can't... But once again, that the previous statement said they are not profitable, and here is why. Right now, it is just, they are profitable, I swear. Where's the follow-up? Where's the clarification? You get what I'm saying? In the chat, Sean goes, or are they factoring they would sell very little first-party games? I'm sure they're very aware. And I'm sure they're very aware how very few people are buying. Because we always say no one on Xbox buys games. That is factually incorrect. It's objectively incorrect. Very few people. A lot less people. No, I have to say few. Because if we say less, it means you can count them. As of right now, we don't have those numbers. Therefore, it's few. It's fewer. You trying to find that info for me, Max?
Yeah, I'm trying to find the exact number.
Oh, I don't need an exact number.
The number that's floating around is they made $5 billion in revenue on Games Pass alone.
Sweet. What's their operating costs? Like, oh, congratulations! We made $5 billion. Cool. Is that profit? Is that net? Is that gross? No, I say that not being smart enough to understand anything I just fucking said. At the same time. Go ahead.
I mean, I don't think they spent $5 billion in a year developing games.
Very true, but I'm sure they've paid all that money in various people.
Well, I mean, they've got to still pay out their buyout of ABK and all that.
That plays a role. But once again, if they're profitable and they're doing all this, if I want to do that fucking, I think the expression's a straw man argument, then why are they shutting studios? Because they're not making enough money. They're not making.
You said it yourself. They want all the money and then only making some of the money.
But I think the difference here.
So to make more money, they're putting their stuff on other platforms where they couldn't.
Out of desperation,
to get more
not out
money.
Of choice. No. They're not making enough money to pay off their purchases in the time frame that was desired by the larger company. They're going, you're not making enough money to cover the purchase, the largest tech acquisition in history. Had they not bought ABK, had Jim Ryan not made them drag their feet and all the litigation around it, they dragged their feet, we would be in a very different conversation.
I guarantee you, if PlayStation went to their board of shareholders and went, we could give you all an extra 30% if we sold shit over here, they'd be like, fucking do it.
Oh, absolutely, immediately. Which tells me this is bigger than the fucking dollars and cents. The argument of that is, we have to talk about it that way because Microsoft's reasoning, at least from where I sit as a random dude on the fucking internet, is different to the reasoning that PlayStation get to use in their upper hand. Now, granted, we're getting late. It's an hour and a half of the show already. Do we want to keep going?
We're almost finished. We've only got a few quick bits to do. That's right.
Yeah. So what, like, to support your point about the day of the exclusive going, we mentioned this in episode 400.
And like, don't get me wrong, I'm not talking
Can I
about
finish
day
my?
one.
Can I just, sorry,
yeah,
I just want to finish it because the second time and I'll forget it. I absolutely know I will. It is the fact that we have hit episode 400 and competing shows are rapidly declining, are rapidly falling off. As I mentioned, our mates at Explosion Network, their show Platinum Explosion died in November of last year. PS5 Central, another Australian show, ended. American shows that I listen to, the DualSense Pod, they ended, but granted they ended for different reasons because they're off doing other stuff, which is great. The PlayStation Drive has closed. That's another show. Another show I listened to that I had listened to. What are they called? They're from Save the Game Media. Is what they do. Oh, what is it called?
You posted it in our chat the other day. I'll see if I can find it.
Yeah. Because I no longer have them in my thing. No Limits. It's called No Limits, right? They have just closed up, and their reasoning is because they're part of a larger network. Is that exclusives don't, console exclusive stuff isn't relevant anymore. So, like, once again, in the same way that we're insane for continuing to do a PlayStation show, because the tides are changing and people are seeing it. But I like doing the show, and I'm not going to pivot. I'm stuck like you. I'm stuck in. I'm digging. I'm gonna keep going. So, will this happen? Yes. But at the same time, I don't want to talk about the gaming experience on other platforms. I want to talk about what it's like here on PlayStation.
That's because you only play on PlayStation.
Correct. Because I choose to. Because right now, everything comes to me except for shit on Switch, and I don't care about fucking Donkey Kong's Bong Bonanza, wherever the fuck it's called.
You fucking should.
Actually, if it was called Donkey Kong's Bong Bonanza, I'd probably play it.
And look, I'm not saying that they have to send their shit day and date. Like, keep them all as timed exclusive. I get the importance of exclusives, but at some point, like, you've already dipped your toe in the water. You've seen how much more why not make some more?
Look, and I agree with that too, but it's the floodgate argument, right?
But the numbers I would be interested in is how many from one side to come for these.
Sorry,
because if the numbers
keep cutting out, dude, go say that again. Sorry.
The numbers I want to see are the numbers of the people who are turning code and dropping Xbox to come and buy a console for PlayStation just to play that one exclusive that they can't play over.
Mm.
Like, is it a large number? Are you actually getting a significant portion of coming on? Because if you're not, just fucking sell them over there at make some money.
Because
some money's better than none money.
True. No. Well, we as logical individuals, yes, that makes sense. Rab the Hun. Do you think quote exclusives shares a same commonality as good / quality movies? I think correct me if I'm wrong, Rab, but what I believe you're saying is, your question is does the term exclusive mean it'll be of a good / quality? No. In PlayStation, there's a higher chance the answer is yes, but it is not guaranteed. Concord was cheeks. However, the strike rate of PlayStation on their exclusives is higher than that of Microsoft. For every Concord that you like, once again, the real rough example, on Microsoft you have a Recore, what was it? Fucking Crackdown. You have a Rise to Rome, whatever the fuck,
Rise Son of Rome was great. How dare you?
You know what I mean? But it wasn't like critically fucking swimming. Like, there's a bunch of subpar exclusives. PlayStation have less of them. So Rab's talking about the idea of like how remake and remaster is sort of interchangeable at this point.
Oh, PlayStation are the king of the fucking remaster.
That is true. Director's cuts, baby. So yes, will it happen at some point? Absolutely. Is it in the near future? No. And do I believe that we're going to see a similar, in the same way that, like, once again, it depends on the intent, and then I'll wrap it up, and then we'll move on. It depends on the intent. Microsoft put their stuff on PlayStation, and they're seeing incredible amounts of money coming from it, and sales numbers through the roof. Will that same thing happen inverse? Probably not. However, I think...
Well, we don't have the data to say yay or nay.
That was my next sentence. However, post Helldivers 2...
I don't think Helldivers 2 is a fucking suitable case study either.
I would also agree. You need at least 3.
Because no.
It's not even the number of statistic and significance, you need 3.
It's a fucking live service game that's been out for so long now that all the hype around it and all the player base has already fallen off.
Mm-hmm. So
Xbox are coming in on a game that's already down, if they choose to come in knowing that game has already got dwindling player bases now. Is not a fair comparison.
I disagree, because there's been the long, vocal minority demanding online, been like, bring Helldivers 2 over. Like, all right, put up and shut up. And I think that's where it's at. Like, once again, is it the best scenario? No. But it is the first step, and if it does well enough, then something else will follow. If they do it, and then Arrowhead come out and they go, or whatever, the records come out that they sold 100,000 copies, you won't see anything come across. But if it sells like 1 million, fuck yeah, start seeing shit go over. Absolutely. We're on that precipice. We're at the fork in the road, and Helldivers 2 is the first in that. Is the first thing.
Also, it feels like they're sending in like the C team to be like,
no doubt.
Look, it's not going to sell over there, so we're not going to send our B and A listers.
And I can tell you what,
because the C shit didn't sell. Because if they're not willing to buy our trash, if they don't buy it at our worst, they don't deserve our best, and that's bullshit. Because that is not how you fucking do it.
I would argue that they should put one of their B players in, and then if the B player sells well, consider an A, or bolster it with in the same way that Microsoft sent across, like, CFD's big winner, but like Pentiment, not really. Apparently it's really, really good, but probably a C. Where Grounded is pretty good. Hi-Fi Rush. Actually, I'd probably argue that Hi-Fi Rush and Sea of Thieves were like the 2 Bs, and then they threw in a couple Cs to help bolster the 4 games that came across, and then came the A's in your Forza Horizon. Your Forza/Forza Horizon, whatever the fuck it is. It's Forza Horizon, and your Gears of War come around the corner. So your approach is correct, but PlayStation are being petty and went, take by C.
It would be like if they went, we'll give them Concord. Oh shit, it didn't sell over there either. Guess Last of Us won't sell over.
No, because Concord is an absolute D. I reckon. What would be a B within the PlayStation world at the moment? Ooh. My brain went to like a Concrete Genie or a Dreams.
Give them Blue Point's Demon Souls.
No, the fact that they have Demon Souls really hangs like that is a big badge of honor to them.
PlayStation aren't doing anything, but they give them Bloodborne. Nothing else will come from that shit.
That is never happening. Knack. Actually, Knack. Yes, Sean, Knack, because that's B enough. I would consider that B enough to count. If they sent Knack across, yeah. All right, this has been a fucking near on 40-minute conversation.
Fucking send over Little Big Planet. Fuck it.
Yeah, actually, that would be probably a good example, I would say.
All right, let's quickly gloss over this. China Hero Project. We now have a little more information.
Done. Next news.
Yeah, that's it. Now we have a little more information on the future project, courtesy of Nico Park.
You keep cutting out real bad. Your noise gate's kicking. Do you have like a heater or a fan on or something?
No, I've got nothing on in this room. I don't know. It's been doing it for a while. He writes that the program, which was conceived in 2016 to help nurture local development talent, fourth phase, with Sony stepping up its efforts to bring great locally developed Chinese titles to the global market. It's currently accepting pitches for new projects and already includes funding,
He's doing it
marketing.
again.
Do you want to just read this one then?
All right, cool. Aside from the top, China Hero Project. We now have a little more information on the future of the China Hero Project, courtesy of Nico partners Daniel Ahmad. He writes that the program, which was conceived in 2016 to help nurture local development talent, is now in its fourth phase, with Sony stepping up its efforts to bring great locally developed Chinese titles to the global market. It's currently accepting pitches for new projects and will improve its support network, which already includes funding, marketing, and assistance. For example, Virtuous has been brought in as a partner for potential co-development opportunities. Rich Tap will help with haptic feedback, and PS Studios' own UI/UX team will assist with evaluation, art, and feedback. The ultimate goal was to help China continue to make incredible games which can be sold across PS5 and PC on the global stage. We've already seen several releases bear fruit, and Sony will be looking for those next big hits it can associate with its consoles. Now, Max, I have a feeling that more of the games that come out of like the old CHP, China Hero Project, I kind of likely more in more of your interest, mostly because thematically, obviously, like was it Fist, yeah, forged in Shadow Torch. Was that it? Yeah.
I'm just gonna Google. Yeah, so Forge.
Also,
yeah,
thank you. I can tell you dropped your noise gate because I hear you clicking in your keys. So thank you.
Yeah, I just turned it off. I'm just like, fuck it. I'm just turning it off.
Yeah, that's fine. Your family.
So there was Fist, obviously. There's a fair few. AI Limit recently came out. There's one coming out in a couple of weeks at the end of August. Called something. I can't think of it at the moment. But it comes out at the back end of August. Had a big showcase not long ago. Astral Blade was one. So there's a fair few that have come across, and with the likes of Black Myth Wukong last year, the same with Wuchang Fallen Feathers this year. Games coming out of those regions are becoming more and more popular.
Yeah.
And the fact that Sony is willing to essentially buy in on the ground floor and help develop those, I think is a big win.
Yeah, because once again, this I also like because it aligns with the greater PlayStation strategy in terms of what they were doing, with all the prior to all these M&As, right? They were like, well, let's support someone and you can put it here exclusively, but we don't need to buy you. You are your own space, you're your own people. We're just going to help you do it, and in turn, you'll make some cool stuff for us. That is what Microsoft should have done the entire time. What I like about this because China, as we were joking in the before the show,
very secular.
Very secular. Like, aside from the communism, could be pretty cool. And cheap shit, food's great, awesome. Chinese massages, I hear they're pretty good. I don't know what makes it Chinese. So, I also believe that there are a lot of stories, there are a lot of places, a lot of people in China that we will never, this is a great opportunity to hear from. Like, I'm a firm believer that even in Western culture, where access to things like this more prevalent than ever before, but there are so many people that may have that incredible story to tell. They may have the incredible artistic vision, and they will never get to see the light of day. So making it slightly more possible for the cream to rise to the top, why not? We are in a globalized world, and we have been for economy and structure and industry for a long time. The PlayStation have made the decisions to look into, Europe and the Middle East and
they have
Africa.
The Indie Hero project as well.
Yeah, they're popping all over the place. Now, am I smart enough to know how that works and whether it's a good thing or not? Maybe, probably not.
Lost Soul Aside is the game that I was
Soul
thinking of
Aside,
that comes out. That comes out at the end of this month.
So yeah, I quite like the idea. It's the same as there was a PlayStation First, I think it was called back in the day. It was an in-university program where PlayStation would happily just provide dev kits to uni students.
Yeah.
Excuse me. It's the same principle. It's about supporting people to make cool shit. I like that. In the chat, MGB jumps in. He goes, China Hero is a cool idea. I do wonder if it could to lead Sony to acquiring some Chinese teams. Nope. I don't believe it will at all. But who knows if that will happen. Like, even if these devs can get more opportunities for them, that would be great. Exactly. I don't believe them acquiring teams. I think Microsoft have in a lot of ways killed the desire to buy, because now every purchase of a large cost will be so heavily monitored. It's be difficult to work with.
All you need is a president in power that was willing to take a bribe, and you'll be fine.
Thankfully, they do.
Just talk to Skydance Media and CBS. You'll be right.
Yeah, that's right. Paramount handle them.
All right, quick bits.
All right, quick bits, Max. Now that you are noise gated, it does mean I could hear all your beard scratching, all of it.
Okay, Bioshock PS4.
I think mine cuts it out. Maybe just got to turn it down a smidge.
All right, Bioshock PS5 sequel is in development hell, and the remake scrapped completely.
It still did it.
Yeah, funny. I think it may be the mic. I think I might need a new cable, to be honest. It's been cutting out for weeks.
I can make that happen for you.
On being asked if Kojima will play the Metal Gear Solid 3 remake, no, I will not.
Yeah, of course he fucking won't. You shitting me? Also, it's a shame about the Bioshock sequel. That's a shame.
Yeah. Kingdom Come Deliverance is possibly coming to PlayStation 5 with its own native version.
Wait, we've been playing a PS4.
Right.
Oh, the first? Oh!
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
My brain went to 2. Yeah, but it looks like shithole.
Because Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 did well. Everyone's like, what's that first game like? And they're like,
yeah, but
it looks horrible in comparison.
Its visuals weren't fundamentally the issue. It also played like shit.
No. Yeah.
Like, comparatively to 2, it's way better.
And then for anyone who cares, Twisted Metal Season 2 is currently out with the first 3 episodes available on whatever fucking platform it's on. Stan here in Australia.
Yeah,
Peacock everywhere else.
Yeah. Peacock, yeah. So I went back and watched the first episode, maybe 2, with Phoebe.
Get your cocks out for Anthony Mackie, I guess.
Yeah, I really don't like him in this. No. Like, Samoa Joe / Will Arnett as Sweet Tooth rules. The bird, Rosa, whatever her name from the place, was Brooklyn Nine-Nine. She's fine. The guy the guy that's the cop, he's fun. But I don't know.
I put in our chat the other night, the only good thing that Anthony Mackie was in was when Eminem dissed the shit out of him.
Yeah.
In 8 Mile.
And like it's quite exactly as the game. It is quite a whole lot of visual noise, and also auditory noise. My partner hated it. She's like,
I haven't watched it.
I like. It's if I'm happy to, if I can, play some play some Donkey Kong Bong Bonanza and then watch it. Like, sure, it's watchable television.
Isn't anything?
Oh, absolutely! So much bad shit becomes amazing after you play. Have
you started season 2 of Last of Us yet?
No, because I think we talked about it in previous weeks. Where I think what drew me and what's making me less excited for the season 2 is knowing that there is no Pedro, because I don't think Bella Ramsey was a great actress along as a pairing with Pedro. But anytime they showed her by herself, I cared immediately less. Not about her as a person. Like, everyone's like, yeah. No, I just don't. I having season 2 to rely so heavily.
If there's no Pedro on screen, you just don't give a shit.
Pretty much. Like, having season 2, very similar to the second game, relies so heavily on Ali as a character. The way Bella Ramsey delivers her is not entirely my thing. Why am I spoiling The Last of Us? Because the game came out a while ago, and if you're listening to this show, I would really hope you knew that.
You're not a real fan if you only watch the TV show.
Yeah.
Read the book. What a dick.
Yeah, what an asshole, spoiling it for every prick and being all elitist gatekeeper. Like, yeah, I wasn't just like spoiling, I was also being a gatekeeper about it too. How worse.
Oh, clearly you didn't read the book. They fucking missed all this shit.
Oh man, I've got so mad at people who've done that before too, so what a prick. But yeah, I think that's my reason. I think there will come a time where I'll just be like, you know what, fuck it, and I'll just watch it. But I also am aware that I have to go through the gut-wrenching pain of Joel. And I think we're getting there. Phoebe mentions about that. She goes, I think I'm ready to watch Pedro die. I'm like, well, I think I'm getting there too.
You put on Game of Thrones.
Yeah, and then once you get his face crushed in, I'm like, you know what? It was worth rewatching all this Game of Thrones until we watch Daenerys turn heel and just kick, fucking Westeros.
What do you mean turn heel? She was always heel.
Yeah, no, but she was. Yes, that's what I'm saying. But everyone was like, oh, why'd she fucking just start burning the city? I'm like, have you never seen fucking wrestling before? Like, she had heelish tendencies, and then big super kick, fucking King's Landing gets blasted in the face, power bomb by dragon. Daenerys fucked her nephew or whatever it was.
No.
Credits. There's another spoiler for you, those playing at home. All right, let's get into the games that are coming out.
We don't know that to be true because the last book hasn't been written yet. Because
do you reckon George R. Martin's going to remove? Yeah, do you think George R. Martin, who spent the entire everything up until this point being like, you know what, incest, kind of fucking cool from a story perspective, to him go, you know what, only one family of incest in this book. He he established early on that everyone tries to fuck everyone in that show / book series. So, all right. These are the games that are coming out this week. On the 5th of August, Demon Slayer.
I won't ban you, Sean. Just fucking do it. He's taking too long.
What's that, Sean? That's how I'm spelling Death Stranding 2 in a minute. Oh, no! Actually, that'd be pretty brutal. That'd be fucking brutal. But then, once again, that game just came out. Unlike, well... Not just came out. I'm taking a long time.
It's basically the Truman Show.
5th of August, Demon Slayer Kimetsu no Yaiba, apparently his words. The Hinokami Chronicles 2 just keeps going. PS5, PS4. Hello Kitty Island Adventure coming to PS5. Lies of P is coming to PS5 / PS4 as part of your Essential, including DayZ, as well as only on PS4 though, as well as My Hero 1's Justice 2 on your PS4. On the 7th of August, you get Gradius Origins on your PS5. You also get Slope Crashes. Ooh. I hope that's a snowboarding game and not a racial slur. Coming to PS5 and PS4. And on the 8th of August, fuck yes! Mafia, the Old Country. I need to send an email. I want to play the fuck out of that.
Slope Crashes is an arcade snowboard racer.
Excellent.
And the splash screen is a penguin and a fucking rooster.
Okay. Sweet.
And a lemur by the look of it too.
Oh, man. All right. We're about to fucking hit a 2-hour pod max. What is this shit? So big thank you everyone that has sat here and listened to this extra long episode of For the Players, and all the amazing folks that have been hanging with us over on Twitch as well. It's been a very busy chat today. It's been fantastic. Lots of good folks. Be sure to come check us out in the future when we record on Sunday nights, 8 p.m. commonly. All right, Max, do you reckon...
Oh, I totally forgot too. Haha, my fucking Final Fantasy Magic the Gathering deck finally arrived. Oh, it's good.
Look,
beautiful.
we are at 1 hour, 57 minutes. Do you have 2 minutes in you to talk about Magic? I reckon we can get 2 hours.
No, I don't, because I've got to be at work in 20 minutes.
Fine. All right. Big thank you, everyone. Love you long time.
And there is roadworks all the way to work because they're upgrading the fucking Barwon Heads Highway at nighttime.
All right, Max. In that case, you have less than 2 minutes. Go.
Alrighty, everybody. You know the drill. This PlayStation conversation happens every Tuesday morning. Our services, including Apple Podcasts and Spotify, and 9 a.m. on those YouTubes. If you'd like to take part in future conversations with us, you can. Come check out our socials. Facebook, Discord, Instagram, X. All of those links can be found in the description below.
If you want to join the conversation as it happens, head over to twitch.tv/PopCulturists Week. Once we record this show live, we can jump in the chat and become part of the show. If you want to support the show, you can. Tell your friends, tell your family about this PlayStation Pod. If you're listening to us on podcast servers, be sure to give us a 5-star rating and a written review. If you watch us on YouTube, be sure to like, subscribe, and comment below. I endeavor to answer every single comment. If you want to support us financially, you can at patreon.com/PopCulturists. But until next week, I'm Ryan Betson.
Thanks, Cooper.
And that was For the Players. That is under 2 hours, son.